and Cliff High's predictions of Earth changes, and Michelle White Dove, her prediction, or she told me to do not buy real estate in Hawaii because the spirits have told her, or the spirit has told her that it's the Ring of Fire, and you don't want to be buying houses in the Ring of Fire. So I've been thinking about this for quite a bit now since she said that. I'm like, well, what does that mean? And then all of a sudden you get the earthquakes and the volcanoes going off, and Cliff High sent me an email talking about the Hilina Slump. Hilina Slump. Let me give you first a real brief summary of what the hell I'm talking about. Those are the Hawaiian Islands, right? And the Hawaiian Islands are located, if you look at the islands, this is the oldest island is Kauai right there. This one's this is 5 million years. This is 4.9 million years. But basically it goes in age this way. So right now, the youngest island is the island of Hawaii, the big island. And it kind of makes sense because when the volcanoes go off, a new island is formed. And then the plate, the Pacific plate, which is this, Hawaii is right in the middle in here, it is moving this way. It's moving this way. And that's how all the Hawaiian Islands are formed. If you look at the Hawaiian Islands right here, going way back, you can find real old remnants. There's like a line that goes right through here of really old islands. So this has been going on for a long, long time. Natural progression. So first there was Kauai, and then as the plate moved up this way, Kauai gets out of this spot. There's one spot. They call it a hot spot. Cliff had a different name for it, but it's the place where all the magma comes out from the center of the earth. And Hawaii is the last island that was built, made. That's where the volcano is going off down here. So as it's like right in line. It's crazy. So as this thing moves, I'm going to show you this is from the University of Liverpool. So this is the southern part of the big island of Hawaii, and that's where the caldera is, the volcano, Kilauea, and then all this stuff. This is where the fissures are happening right along here, and this has the potential of falling down. It actually does fall down every year. Every few years, it just moves just a little bit. But for years, they've been saying this: if a big one hit, it would cause a 9.0 earthquake, and this would slump down. It's called the Hilina Slump. So this is what it looks like right now. So that's that part. It literally, it could fall off at any moment. I'm not trying to freak everybody out. I just want people to be aware of what's going on. Here's a little history on the Hilina Slump. Hilina Slump is 5,000 cubic miles section of the Big Island of Hawaii on the south flank of the Kilauea volcano. Between 1990 and 1993, GPS measurements showed a southward displacement of the flank of Kilauea up to approximately 10 centimeters per year. So it's been moving ever so slightly. The slump has the potential of breaking away at a faster pace in the form of an underwater landslide. In Hawaii, landslides of this nature are called debris avalanches. If the entire, now this is the part that, how bad could it get if it gets really bad? If the entire Hilina slump were to slide into the ocean at once, it could cause an earthquake in excess of 9.0 in magnitude and a mega tsunami. Previous mega tsunamis in Hawaii over 100,000 years ago, caused by similar geological phenomena, may have created waves of 1,600 feet high, which would basically cover the whole island, all the islands. That's pretty tall, and that would be felt around the world, around the Pacific Rim. Yes, California would be hit by a tsunami if everything came down at one time. And they estimate in California it would be 100 to 200 meters, which would be up to 100 to 200, which would be 300 feet high wall of water coming onto the west coast of the United States. Huge, massive destruction. Unbelievable amounts of destruction. But that's possible. I'm not saying it's going to happen. Not at all. But I'm saying it's possible. And you'll also have about 4 to 5 hours of warning. Because when that massive volcano hits, or the earthquake hits, because it would coincide with an earthquake of 9.0 or something, we would get notification from Hawaii, and the alert would go around the world. And before it got to California and Washington and Oregon and Alaska, because it's on that side of the island falling that way, we would probably go, obviously it would go everywhere. We would get 4 to 5 hours of notice to get the high ground, get away from the coast. Will that help? Not if it's a mega tsunami, 300 feet high, mega tsunami is like, you can't run away from that. I mean, my house in Oakland, well, see, I'm separated by the San Francisco Bay. So it would have to come through, about a half mile long, the opening for the San Francisco Bay, where the Golden Gate bridges and all that. And all the models say, no, it wouldn't get through there and come into the bay and then wash up. I'm at 800 feet, I think my house is. So I would be safe, but so many people, millions and millions and millions of people live along the coast. That wouldn't be safe. Los Angeles wouldn't be safe. You can imagine. I mean, that's like worst case scenario. I understand that. But people couldn't get out. 300 foot high tsunami comes, and you got all of LA trying to run away. Now again, this is dreaming dragons, but it's happened before. I mean, it's so rare. The odds are 0.001%, but it's happened before. And now we have this big fissure happening right in the spot where the Hilina Slump is. And remember, Michelle White Dove said, "You're in the ring of fire. Do not buy any property in Hawaii. Don't look to invest in Hawaii. Cliff high. We're going to have massive volcanoes and earthquakes. The earth is changing." And, he didn't give any specific spot, but he's like, this is right there. It could happen on a smaller scale. Well, maybe we'll have like a, 20-foot high tsunami, which would still cause massive amounts of disruption on the west coast of the United States. So let's a little more. The Hilina Slump is sliding seaward on top of the southern flank of the Kilauea volcano at an average speed of 10 centimeters per year. So it's just inching along. But at some point in the history has shown this, parts of this slump fall off into the ocean. Compared to the 25 to 30,000 kilometer volume of Kilauea, the submarine slide is between 10 to 12 kilometers, making up about 10% of the island. So that's the Hilina Slump, is 10% of the Big Island. Model results based on present-day slope and sea level suggest that earthquake accelerations stronger than a 0.4 to 0.6 are enough to exceed the static friction coefficient, resulting in a slip along a failure surface. Now, they just had, a 6-point-something earthquake? However, recent undersea measurements show that an undersea bench has formed as a buttress at the forefront of the Hilina Slump. This buttress may tend to reduce the likelihood of future catastrophic detachment. That's good news. As the Pacific Plate is being pushed to the west-northwest, it is traveling over a hot spot that is erupting silica, poor basalt magma. The Big Island of Hawaii is the youngest of the chain of Hawaiian islands, shield volcanoes, and have penetrated and scarred the overriding Pacific Plate. 1968 earthquake. Here's an example of what happened. On April 7, 1968, an earthquake in this area with a magnitude estimated between 7.25 and 7.75 rocked the southeast island of Hawaii. It triggered a landslide on the slopes of the Mauna Loa volcano, 5 miles north of Pelaha, killing 31 people. A tsunami claimed 46 additional lives. The villages of Punalu, Nihole, Kawana, Hanapo, I'm butchering these, and Kahu Landing were severely damaged. According to one account, the tsunami rolled over the tops of the coconut trees 60 feet high, inland and distance. Now, that was, 150 years ago. We're definitely seeing some action now. They don't know how big it's going to get. It depends how low the magma goes. If it hits the water level, you're going to see stuff shoot out. And, so, yeah, things are crazy. And then you look up mega tsunami. Yeah, I get conspiratorial, and I'm like, I want to know how bad I can get, and then work my way backwards so that I know I'm prepared for the worst. And yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I think the highest tsunami ever was. These tend to happen near volcanoes because of all the seismic activity. Let's see. A giant wave run up of 1,720 feet at the head of the bay I think this was in Alaska. 1,720 feet. I think that's bigger than any building we got. Can you imagine something? That's crazy. That's crazy. Anyway, so back to this. If you live in Hawaii in this area, yeah, don't risk anything. They're saying it could get more violent if the magma hits the water level. Obviously, the steam will go crazy and poof, everything will shoot up and out of there. So just get away for a while. Take a vacation don't go to California. Go to the East Coast of the United States. Because this is not a good thing in this specific spot. Clearly, it is breaking away. Something is breaking away. And it either stops or just keeps going. Can't mess with Mother Nature. And then when you throw in Michelle White Dove and you throw in Cliff High saying, this was going to happen. It was part of both of their data. I mean, Michelle, the spirit, said to me directly, don't buy in Hawaii. It's in the Ring of Fire. I said, okay. So keep an eye out. If you live on the west coast of California, you're going to have 4.5 hours. If there's a huge earthquake over 8.0 or over 7 in Hawaii, there's a tsunami coming our way. So you got 4.5 hours to get the hell out of there. And the key is, as soon as you hear about it, go. Because you don't want to wait for everybody else because, you're going to get the streets clogged, and just go. Just don't risk it. Head inland, head to higher ground as high as you can get, and cross your fingers. Anyway, that's your word of warning, shall we say, just in case, the crazy conspiracy people are right. And, could the bad guys stick a little nuclear bomb in there, in that fissure, and set it off? Yeah, kind of like they supposedly did in the Japanese tsunami. Who knows? You can believe the conspiracy guys. Just a heads up. And that's your, what do they call it? Emergency services warning. It's Big Weir. I'll talk to you guys later.